Merry Christmas, chess lovers, and welcome to a very special episode of the Pawn to Grandmasters. Today I'm here with the spectacular game from Final Blitz Chess Championship. This game is played between Magnus Carlsen and Ian Nepomniachtchi, and I believe this game will be blow your mind. And let's see what happens in the game and stay with me until the end of the video. Let's see. As you guys can see, Magnus Carlsen played with the white pieces and opened the game with the e4, and Ian Nepomniachtchi responded with the e6 French defense, d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6, and this is classical variations until Magnus played e5, and this is Steinitz variations. Knight d7, knight d2, c5, c3, knight c6, a3, a5, knight f3, a4, putting a place for the knight on b3. Anyway, h4 by Magnus, knight b6, knight f4, knight f5, playing perfectly with the knights, rook b1, bishop d7, bishop d3, and now h6, castle by Magnus, queen c7, rook e1, and now knight c4 and knight h5. As you guys can see, this knight h5, it's not correctly the best move to play in these positions. And what must to do? As you guys, this knight is trying to camp on the queen side, and the white player must know that and have to stop that, like playing bishop c2, threatening the capture on a4. And if he plays knight b3, simply just exchanging the knights, this knight is getting dangerous on the queen side, and after bishop a4, it look like queen is on trap. But queen a2, and after bishop c2, threatening the capture on the rook, simply rook a2, and bishop must come back, but on e4, and it's wrap up on b3, threatening knight and threatening bishop. But anyway, Magnus plays knight h5, bishop b5, pawn takes c5, queen takes c5, and now putting knight on the center. Bishop comes back to the d7 and avoiding to exchange with the knights, bishop d7. And what must to do in these positions? It's too important, because as you guys can see, black's pieces is on to attacking on the queen side, and you must have to stop this, like playing bishop on c2, threatening the capture on a4, and saying you must come back and defend yourself, like playing knight on b6, defending the pawn. This is the important thing to do. Bishop e3, trying to discover attack on the queen. After queen c7, like knight f4, we don't need knight on h5, and we need to bring back knight to help our attacking chances. After knight c4, like putting bishop on the c1, avoiding the exchange bishop for the knight, and after rook a6, it just look like black positions is good, but I'm saying this is just a fake. It's not good for black, like capture on a4, and after exchanging the bishops, as you guys can see, knight c6, discover attack on the rook, on the queen, and blocking the check. But queen d1, and now black's must to protect himself against this pawn structure. But anyway, after that, Magnus Carlsen, I don't know why he played queen g4, castle for Nepomniachtchi, queen f4, queen e7, defending the pawn, and now after b3, exchanging the knights, rook takes b3, bishop c6, bishop e3, and now pawn g5, attacking the queen. Queen d4, pawn takes h4. This pawn is getting Magnus Carlsen into a big trouble. Knight f6, and this is interesting. Magnus Carlsen could have played queen a7 too. But anyway, knight f6, bishop g7, threatening knight, but there is no good move for the knights. And after doubling the rooks on the queen side, Nepomniachtchi exchanged the bishop with the knight, and now not capturing the bishop, this bishop not capturing the pawn, this pawn is covered by the queen, queen c7, queen a5, and now putting rook in the semi-open file, rook g7. And what must the white player do? Feel free to pause the video and find the correct move for Magnus Carlsen. What we're gonna do in these positions? As you guys can see, there is a lot of trouble and a lot of attack on the g2 pawns. And what Magnus Carlsen can do, it's bringing the bishop on f1, defending the pawn, and after knight takes e3, pawn takes e3, and after h3, like putting rook on b6. And be careful, because be careful on the capturing the pawn, because it's too important. Why? Because capturing the on g2, white kings has perfect shield on g1, and he can put bishop on a6, and as you guys can see is pressure exchange on g2, and there is a lot of pressure on b7. And after like king d7, bishop takes, and after like bishop b7, there is not a good move to do, capturing on bishop or capturing with the rook, rook b6, and after rook a8, there is not a good move like bishop c6 check and simply taking the queen. But anyway, I'm sure you guys know it. But in this position, Magnus Carlsen plays mad move, and he puts bishop on f4. He blunders the pawn, blunders the piece. And I want you guys to feel free to pause the video for second time and find the perfect attacking chance for Ian Nepomniachtchi, and while I give you guys a couple of seconds, if you will capture this bishop or not. Say it on the comment sections. If you guys find that, congratulations, it's very important. Capturing the bishop, it's safe move. And rook takes b7. This is too important. Who said we must capture on the rook? We don't have to capture on the rook, and we have our own attack. And in these positions, Ian Nepomniachtchi plays rook. He plays rook takes g2, sacrificing the rook, and the king has nothing to do about it. King have to capture on the rook, because king h7 met queen h2 checkmate, and king f1 met like queen takes f2 check, and after exchanging the queens, like bishop capture on b7, and Ian Nepomniachtchi is even up a piece. But anyway, after that, Magnus Carlsen captures on the rooks, and let me show the winning game and the winning move with the slow motions, like knight e3 check, and it was in these positions on move 31. Magnus Carlsen resigned the game because there is nothing to do about this. There is two solutions for this. Or he must give his queen, like pawn d4 check and taking the queen, and after that like taking the rooks, like queen e4 check, and after exchanging and takes, like takes, you can see Ian Nepomniachtchi is up a rook. But very special things, I want to end the game with this move, and it's king g1 or king h1, I must say. Putting knight on d4, discover check, and after e4, blocking like nothing, and after king g1, queen g3, checkmate. And as you guys can see, these three pieces on third rank, it's just amazing. And I'm saying again, happy or Merry Christmas, guys, and I wish you guys have a good Christmas. And if you like it, don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friends on a bar or library. Have a good time.